Everybody's talking about monk mode, but what actually is it? It's a state of relentless self-improvement and self-centered focus, often to the point of seclusion, for an extended period of your choosing. It enables you to focus on a goal or set of goals so intensely that it's near impossible to fail. But what does that actually mean? What rules do you need to follow to allow yourself to enter into this state? And most importantly, why will these rules benefit you? Because without a why, our brains simply have a harder time accepting change. We need a reason to do things. We will start with the non-negotiable rules of monk mode. These have to be done every single day that you are in monk mode. Rule number 1.
Exercise 7 days a week for at least 30 minutes. This can be in whatever capacity you like. You could run, you could swim, you could box. There may even be a sport in your goal list that we'll get to later, like MMA. You could even go walking every day. You know, it's just exercise. You know what it is and you know what it isn't. Sitting down all day from morning till night, that's not exercise. Jacking off 10 times a day, that's not exercise. Get those numbers up to 100 though, and maybe I'll give it to you. If walking is the only thing you do, and ideally I don't recommend it, you want to get something that's going to get your heart pumping, or you're just not going to get the maximum benefits from it. But if you are at a fitness level currently where you've just had too many fucking chicken tendies and walking just is your only option, and I've been there. I've never been able to like not walk, but I've certainly had a binge eating problem before, an insane one. So don't feel bad if you can only walk. I'm just saying you're not going to get the maximum benefits from it. So I would just increase that walk from half an hour to an hour, but do what you can do. 10 minutes of walking is better than doing the 0 that you were doing yesterday. But still, this is a monk mode cycle. Do you see where I'm a bit conflicted? I sort of want to say just fucking do 30 minutes of walking, just fucking do an hour of walking, but I can see how some people might be put off by that idea, therefore they won't enter a monk mode cycle at all. So maybe it's best just to say just do what you can do, but fucking do it for an hour if you're gonna walk. But as I have said, these are your monk mode protocols, even though I advise you to follow mine, so tailor it to what you can do. Don't set unrealistic goals, but don't set stupidly easy goals that aren't going to challenge you either, because that's just stupid as well. I'll give you one of my goals now. One of my goals is to get an elite level physique, and I know a lot of people that'll be watching that video will probably have a similar goal, so I advise you to do exactly what I'm doing in that scenario. So that's going to be heavy weight work 5 times a week, a full bro split, about 1.5 hours per session, obviously with some slight variations depending on which day it is, whether you're doing leg day, whether you're doing arm day, chest day, back day, ab day. There isn't an ab day. Don't do a fucking ab day. People that have ab days drive me insane. You don't need a whole day dedicated to your fucking abs, because you work them all the time if you're doing compound movements anyway. I also include a tiny bit of cardio at the end of each workout just for mental clarity. I would do more, but I'm currently bulking. And doing no cardio at all, you're not going to get that like dopamine-y feeling, you know, that you get from running and stuff, where your mind's just clearer. But you know the feeling if you've ever done cardio. You just feel amazing after it. You feel good after doing weights as well. It's just not the same. But obviously weights are my main focus, as I want an elite level physique and I want to be big and muscly. I don't want to be some little runner. I don't want to be Mo Farah, no offense to the guy. I mean, he's an Olympic athlete. That would be a different story, actually. Say that was one of your goals, you want to be an Olympic runner, then obviously you're not going to be doing weights 5 times a week. You're going to be running 5 times a week, in which case ignore everything else that I just said. In fact, you won't even need to know about this exercise program if you're going to be an Olympic runner. I won't be giving you any knowledge, will I? You should give it me, so let me know in the comments if you're training for the Olympics, please. So because I'm doing 5 days a week of that intense weight training, on my rest days what I'll do is, so I'm still exercising 7 days a week, is then I'll go for an hour's walk. Now you're going to want to record all of your exercise days. You're going to want to record what reps you did, what sets you did, whether you went for a run, a walk, everything. You want it all recorded. So because I'm doing weights, I use the Strong app, which I'll leave a link in the description for, and it's just free unless you want to pay for the pro features, which is like $5.99, and I think it just gives you a bit of extra shit, but I've never needed it. Then you can put 4 workout templates in there. Who needs any more than that, really? In fact, there'll be a free trial as well. In fact, I gamed the system. Because you get that free trial, I put in 5 workout templates for my 5 days at the gym, and then when the trial ended, they're still in my history. So I just click on them, and they just keep coming back. Game the system. Fuck you, Strong. I'm not paying $5.99 for some fucking shite features, motherfucker. Get them features up and then we'll talk. And if you are running or walking, if that's one of your goals, maybe to be a runner as we just discussed, or any other physical activity like that, tennis, badminton, basketball, you know your sport, whatever it is, then depending on what phone you have, you can either use Apple Health or Samsung Health, and both of them have basically every exercise in the world on there. I think they've even got curling on there, which is some crazy Scottish sport. Have a look. But if you're looking for that elite level physique, trust me to follow that. Okay, so that's exercise 7 days a week, 30 minutes at the least, non-negotiable. It has to be done in your monk mode protocol. It has to be done. The benefits are insane. Combine that with everything else, it's just gonna propel you like a motherfucker.
Rule number 2.
No alcohol or any other substances. This one's going to be hard for a lot of people, and a lot of people are going to be in denial about it. People think they can get away with a few beers at the end of a hard day's work, and maybe you can, but it goes so much deeper than that, and I know that from being an alcoholic for 5 fucking years. Because alcohol and other substances are mainly used to just mask emotions. And during monk mode, you're going to have times and you're going to have to face some seriously unpleasant emotions. And this is a big part of it. You need to get yourself to a point where you can face these emotions head on. You're in monk mode for a reason. It's so you can better yourself, problem solve, and get fucking laser-like focus. If you can't deal with like feeling a bit off sometimes through like the natural changes in your body, then how would you expect to deal with like a serious problem like a financial crisis? I know that a lot of people, myself included, go into monk mode to try and reach some type of financial goal. So let's say that you've set up an online shop and ran out of stock, and you've got customers ringing you left, right and centre like, where's my fucking shit, where's my fucking shit, where's my fucking shit, emailing you, leaving bad reviews all over your page, your online store, your Amazon shop, whatever that you're doing. It's during times like that that you need to be sharp. You need to be able to manage your emotions so that you can sit down and take a logical, objective view of the situation from above. So it's like, it's not even you looking at it. It's almost like you're a different person. You step outside of the problem and stare at it like it's not affecting you, and then figure out how you're going to solve the issue. And the point of stepping outside of yourself is then you're detaching your emotions from it. So you can look at it properly. There's no emotion tied to it. It's just a problem. It doesn't affect you in your head, even though it obviously does. You can't just write the problem off by numbing yourself with beers or whatever your substance of choice is, because you know exactly what's going to happen if you do that. You're going to drink a few beers, your brain's going to go, that's not even that bad, I'll deal with it tomorrow. Then it's going to snowball out of control, and then all that hard work you put in is just gone like that. And that's all just because you couldn't deal with your own emotions at the time, so you drank, let it get further down the line, let the problem get worse, and you couldn't step outside of yourself and look at it logically and objectively and deal with it. And secondly, drinking alcohol is a huge keystone habit, and I know that from 5 years of being basically a fucking alcoholic, and I just was. I mean, he's drinking everyday alcoholism. I'm gonna say yeah, and it wasn't a small amount either, so I know what happens when you change this habit. A keystone habit is a habit that when you either stop or start, it just seeps positivity into all areas of your life. For example, when I quit alcohol, not only was I not killing my body and hiding from life, my sleep improved, my diet got automatically better, I just started working out and actually trying to solve other problems in my life because my brain was just naturally inclined to better itself. It's like you remove alcohol, you've got all this boredom, all this time on your hands, you feel so much better. Literally, as I said, it's just positivity everywhere. Your brain's just going to start coming back round and you're just going to be like, let's sort all this shit out. Yeah, that's what we should be doing. We're not drinking alcohol, let's go and sort out all of our shit. It's fucking amazing, honestly. It does you the fucking world of good. I think that is the #1 keystone habit for people in this day and age to quit. Quit alcohol, positivity will rain down upon you. I started this YouTube channel about 5 days after I quit alcohol. What does that tell you? I'm still doing it now, like 13 months later. Also, with the quitting alcohol, this is the one rule I cannot see a single exception for. Quitting alcohol, there is no way that will not benefit you. There's just no way. You're no longer putting poison into your body. Poison. It is fucking poison. That's literally what it is. That's how it's described. Go and Google it. It is a poison. So by not drinking poison every day, do you think that's going to have a good effect on you or a bad one? You do the maths.
Rule number 3.
No digital entertainment. This means no phone, social media, YouTube, video games, Netflix, none of that whilst you're working. We'll talk about where you can put it into your rest days later later on in the video, but none of it whilst you are working. Zero. This is probably one of the most important things you can do to reset your focus, and it'll have intense future benefits, even though at the time it might seem a bit boring for a little bit as your dopamine receptors reset in your head. Because if you're anything like me, you sit down to do a task, and before you know it, you're on your phone sending voice notes back and forward to your mates, just talking about absolute bullshit. This is probably one of the worst things I do. I cannot wait to not do this anymore. I'll just press record on my voice notes to my mates, and I'll just ramble, and then they'll ramble back and I'll ramble back, and it's with like 10 mates at the same time. So I've got like 100 voice notes going back and forwards just all day long. It's absolutely mental. So you either do something like that, or you randomly click on a YouTube video that's sucking in like what will actually happen if we colonize Mars. I mean, it's interesting, but it's not the work that I'm trying to do. Also, I do this a lot where I'll just tell myself I'll have one game of Halo, and then fast forward 2 hours, I'm into my 30th deathmatch, and I'm still losing because I'm not very good. So not only am I playing these games, I'm losing whilst not doing work. Losing the games whilst not doing work, whilst destroying my dopamine receptors. Buzzing. So you see, what happens when you set out to achieve something meaningful is that your brain is so hardwired into wanting dopamine from the other slave tasks that society have created to keep us down. And I'm telling you, that is why the big corporations have done that shit. I think if everyone got rich, the rich wouldn't be rich. It'd all be fucked. As if they're not controlling that shit. I don't want to seem mental. It just seems a bit weird to me. All of this fast-paced shit keeping us glued so we can't do anything for ourselves. Tell me what you think. I mean, I don't know for a fact that that's what's happening. It just seems to make sense to me, though. Like, honestly, these slave tasks, it happens to me so often. I'll sit down with the best of intentions. I'm going to nail that video today. I'm going to edit that other one. I'm going to learn something actually meaningful that will help me to achieve something else that I want to do that's going to work towards one of my goals. And then boom, I've been 420 no-scoped on Halo for the 31st time in a fucking row. Like I said, I'm just like, why? I was supposed to be doing a task. Where has the day just disappeared to? That is how powerful these activities are. You can almost do them subconsciously. They're literally designed to hook you in by the most intelligent people on the planet. So if you think you're going to be able to beat that without being consciously aware of it, good luck. It's almost like drinking too much, going blackout and waking up naked in a field, except instead of waking up naked in a field, 1 minute you were researching, learning something, editing, and the next minute you're sucked into the social media verse, a game, Netflix, you know the story, all of the things I said at the beginning, you're just sucked in and hours disappear. 20 hours has gone by for me before, literally. I've lost days. I am nowhere near as bad with this stuff as I used to be. I can get shit done, but it still has to be a non-negotiable for me. It needs to be completely eradicated. So how do we fight these nearly unconscious activities then? The best way to do it is by installing these apps. First, you want to download something called Unhook, turn it on, and then it gets rid of the browse down the side of YouTube and the main homepage. So if you want to look at something on YouTube, you have to literally type it in, which means you're gonna find something with actual value, because there's gonna be a question in your head that you actually want answering, not something that Mr. Beast has put up. I put 20,000 million eggs into a real bird's nest to see if they would notice their kids were missing. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? I would have clicked on that 100%. I pretended to be a bird for 7 days. I lived in a treehouse for a year. I bought my mum's mate's cat 55 cars and a dog. So you install Unhook and that'll stop you from seeing the homepage and the thumbnails and all of that stuff. But that's not enough, because you can just turn it off. So this is where you want to get the Forest Stay Focused app as well. And with that comes a website blocker, and you'll type in all of the websites that you get distracted by, and you set a time period and press the button. And once you've pressed that, it will not let you go on any of them websites for the amount of time that you've dialed in. So if you put in 2 hours, say you want to do a 2-hour block of focused work, you've got your websites in, you've got Unhook on, you've got Stay Focused there, you press go, you can't do anything but work unless you want to format your entire computer. Which, to be honest, these things are so powerful, some people will fucking do. But it's just another barrier. It's all about putting barriers and barriers and barriers and barriers in front of things, so it's harder to get at them. Do you understand what I mean? I'll make a little short on these apps and how to use them, but it's really not that difficult. You yourself will know which websites eat up your time. It might be Reddit, it might be YouTube, it might be Facebook. You will know. You just look on your phone and look at the screen time, see which one's the worst. Now, as for YouTube, because you can get some real value from YouTube, I just advise you to subscribe to 10 to 20 YouTubes that you get real value from, especially if you're on self-improvement, and maybe one entertainment channel for your downtime. Now, I don't have to be one of those channels, but I can be if you want. It's completely up to you. Just 10 to 20 really valuable channels. And they don't even all have to be self-improvement. Like some, for me, I've got like Veritasium on there because he makes the most random videos. Like he made one about luck, and me and my friends were arguing whether luck existed or not. So we watched this video, but I ended up with about like 10 video ideas from it. Literally got pages and pages of video ideas, and it's all from watching this random YouTube stuff that's got nothing to do with self-improvement really. But then your brain just starts twirling and you'll just think of something and you write it down. So I've got literally a book of ideas now. I need to execute on them, which is why I'm going into monk mode. And as for your phone, what I'll be doing first is just deleting all the apps that I don't use. Because let's face it, how many apps on your phone are just there and you don't use, and they ping your notifications and drive you insane? For me, it's like 99.9% at the time of doing this video. And as for my friends that I speak to all day on WhatsApp, well, I've already told them and they'll be watching this video, I'm deleting WhatsApp, guys. So what I'll do is I'll schedule calls in with you all throughout the week. Actual phone calls. But you can't do monk mode forever, so don't worry, I will be back. But I may be gone for up to like a year off WhatsApp. But we'll still meet in real life as well. So that's what you can do with your friends as well. You just tell them what you're doing. If they're your mates, they'll respect it. And as for your actual phone itself, well, you know how to get rid of that. It's easy. So leave it upstairs in your room, put it in a shoe, under a drawer, in a box. You just want it out of your eye line sight. Because the second you see your phone, there's something automatic and your hand just like reaches out to grab it, to look at all the notifications and shit. It's just like an automatic reaction. You just want to get it out of your line of sight. That's the absolute best way. And then even if you do end up picking it up, you've deleted all your apps as well. Again, as I said before, this is just barriers. You're just building a wall around distractions to get that laser-like focus. Now, if you're anything like me, you might want your phone for emergencies. I've got two little sisters and my mum that I care about a lot, and my dad, but I don't see him that much, but we're not going to get into that right now. So I do want them to be able to contact me in case of absolute emergencies. So what I've done is bought this phone. So that phone will just stay next to me on my desk. It's literally a dumb phone. It can't do anything except ring and be rang. So that's there for absolute emergencies, and you might want to do the same. It only costs 20 quid. So that's no digital entertainment whilst working, non-negotiable. You have to do it no matter what, every single day that you're in your monk mode cycle. Because the second you get distracted by digital entertainment, the tasks you were doing, the goals you've got set for yourself are just gone.
Rule number 4.
30 minutes of meditation a day, every day, non-negotiable, has to be done. You can obviously do this just on your own if you know how to meditate, but I like to just be guided. So I use an app called Balance, which currently, right now, has a year free trial. So if you sign up now and then cancel it straight away, then you won't forget about it, and a year later just have £70 just fucking taking out your account. It's like, what was that? What was I doing a year ago? Although honestly, I'm probably just going to pay for it. After I've been using it for a year, I think I've got like 10 months left on it or something, and it's going to have all of my meditations in there. It gives you like levels, it makes it a bit gamified, and I'm just going to be like, I want to keep that. I've been using it for a year, and just pay the 70 quid. But we'll see what happens when it comes to it, and you can decide for yourself, obviously. So why meditate in the first place? Well, for those of you that have been watching my channel for a while now, you already know that I've been having a little flirt with meditation for about 7 months now, and the benefits are just absolutely insane. It will just shut your head the fuck up, or at least dial it down a lot, seriously, if you do it for long enough and properly learn how to do it. And that's why I recommend doing the guided one. Because if you just sat there trying to do 30 minutes of meditation on your own with nothing, no guided meditation, no voice, no little soothing music, you're likely to just not do it for long enough, or just be like, what the fuck am I doing? Well, that's just me. You might be a master at it already, and if you are, well done, continue doing that. It obviously depends on how messed up your head is to begin with. Mine was pretty bad, so it's still racing around quite a bit, but it's gone from like level 25 billion, I don't know, I'm just making up levels, to like 1 billion, still a lot. It's a shit example. My head's gone calmer, let's just say that, yeah. Now, you're not going to notice anything on day 1. You might not even notice anything on day 30, but eventually you're going to be sat there, and all of a sudden you're just going to realise how much calmer you feel. I imagine meditation just like I do the gym. Just like when you go to the gym and you consistently work out and you get bigger and bigger muscles, it's exactly the same with meditation, but you're developing your mental muscles of calm and insight. And now for my favorite quote of all time used to describe meditation.
I said, empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend.
See, what I've gathered from that quote is this. The water represents your thoughts and the way they flow through your mind. And if you want them to flow towards a certain goal so you can achieve that goal, just like the water filled the teacup, then it's through meditation that you control them and push them towards that goal. So you can fill that goal up, like the water in the teacup, you fill that goal up. Your thoughts become the goal. It also means to simply be flexible in both mind and body. It's about not being like rigid and stubborn about your beliefs, your practices, and your understanding of things. Instead, it's about being open-minded and able to change and adapt to the different circumstances that we're put in life. Much like entering a monk mode cycle to adapt your life to aim it at success and the goals that you have. So that's why we should be meditating for at least 30 minutes. And like I said, you can change it, but that's the ideal for me. Every day, without fail, it's just non-negotiable. The benefits you gain to reaching your goals are just unparalleled. Honestly, if you don't believe me, go off, do it for 2 months and get back to me. I would bet everything I have that you'll come back to me and say I feel well better about life. Okay, so those are the 4 non-negotiables of monk mode. Now I was going to go over the cycles and the goals in this video, but I think it's got too long. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a part 2 and a part 3. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Maybe part 2 is already up. If it is, go and watch that so you can see the cycles and the goals. If not, it'll be up soon. Peace out, guys. Have a good monk mode. Remember, the key to any goal